Let me tell you something strange about people who are always calm. We live in a world that rewards urgency, fast replies, loud reactions, strong opinions delivered instantly. Yet some people move through chaos without visible disturbance. Their voice stays steady, their body remains soft. And here's the question that lingers beneath the surface. What if calm isn't the absence of emotion, but the presence of something much deeper? It's easy to assume that people who are always calm are simply relaxed, emotionally mature, or naturally grounded, that they've figured life out, that nothing really gets to them. But that's not the full picture. Beneath the surface, there's an entire psychology unfolding, one that has less to do with peace and much more to do with regulation, history, and how safety was learned, or not learned, early on. See, for some people calm isn't a mood, it's a strategy, a way the nervous system learned to survive in environments where reacting made things worse, where emotions escalated rooms, where being expressive invited consequences in those spaces. Stillness wasn't passivity, it was intelligence. You might recognize it in everyday moments, when tension rises and they don't match it, when voices get louder and theirs gets quieter, when something goes wrong and they don't panic. From the outside it looks like emotional strength, like resilience, like wisdom, but inside something more complex may be happening. Psychologists have found something fascinating here. What we call calm is often the result of early adaptation, a nervous system that learned to downshift quickly, to suppress outward response in order to maintain internal safety. It's not that nothing is felt, it's that everything is felt, then carefully contained. You see it in how they listen more than they speak, how they pause before responding, how their expressions stay measured. But that calm can come from very different places. For some, it grows out of grounding. For others, it grows out of vigilance. Here's what's often misunderstood. Calm doesn't always mean peace. Sometimes it means freeze. Sometimes it means learned neutrality. The body choosing stillness because movement once felt dangerous. In those cases, calm is not the absence of stress. It's stress held very quietly. And yet, here's the paradox. The same calm that once protected someone can later become a source of power. Because over time, stillness becomes familiarity, regulation becomes skill. What began as survival slowly transforms into self-control. For many people, this calm developed in emotionally unpredictable environments, places where moods shifted without warning, where you had to read the room constantly, where staying composed helped you stay unseen. Over time, the nervous system learned one thing very well: don't add energy to the chaos. So calm became home. Others arrive here after burnout, after reacting too much for too long, after carrying responsibility that never paused. One day the system decides it can't afford intensity anymore, and so it softens, not out of ease, but out of necessity. But let's pause here, because not everyone who is always calm is suppressing something. Some have done the work. Some have learned to sit with sensation without being overtaken by it. Their calm isn't avoidance, it's integration. This is where it gets complex. The same external behavior can hold opposite internal realities. One person's calm is grounded presence, another's is emotional shutdown, and from the outside they look identical. In a culture that rewards reactivity, calm is often misread. People assume it means detachment, indifference, lack of care, but often it's the opposite. Calm people tend to feel deeply, they just don't leak energy outward unnecessarily. There's a deeper psychological concept at play here: nervous system regulation, the capacity to return to baseline after stimulation. Some people learn this through safety and support, others learned it through adaptation and control. Either way, the body remembers, because let's be honest, most of what we call emotional maturity isn't taught, it's learned implicitly, through repetition, through what was allowed and what wasn't, through what was safe to express and what needed to be hidden. Think about it. When was the first time you realized staying calm kept you safer, or more accepted, or more in control? And what did your body learn from that moment onward? Here's where the shadow appears. Not all calm is choice. Sometimes it's compulsion, the inability to access anger, the discomfort with emotional intensity, the fear of losing control if something finally breaks the surface. For some, calm becomes a mask, a way to stay likable, dependable, unthreatening. In those cases, emotions don't disappear. They wait, they move inward, they show up later as fatigue, as distance, as numbness. And yet, there's another truth. Calm can also be freedom. The freedom that comes when you no longer need to react to everything. When you understand that not every stimulus requires a response. When you've learned to let waves pass without becoming them. This is the philosophical layer. In a world that constantly demands reaction, choosing calm becomes an act of self-definition. A refusal to be pulled into every emotional current. A way of saying my inner state matters more than immediate expression. Maybe that's why calm people often feel misunderstood. Their silence is mistaken for emptiness, their steadiness mistaken for lack of passion. But beneath that calm often lives a rich inner world, one that moves slowly, deliberately. Honestly, research supports this gently. Studies show that individuals with strong emotional regulation exhibit lower reactivity, clearer thinking, and greater resilience under stress. But regulation doesn't mean suppression, it means capacity, the ability to feel without being overwhelmed. And when calm comes from that place, it feels different. It feels spacious, restful, alive, not tight, not rigid, not forced. So maybe the question isn't why some people are always calm. Maybe the question is where that calm comes from, and whether it serves them now. Sometimes calm is a wound that learned to stay quiet. Sometimes it's wisdom that learned to stay present. And sometimes it's both. So the next time you notice someone who remains calm when things intensify, maybe don't assume they're unaffected. Maybe they're deeply attuned. Maybe they've learned when to respond and when not to. And maybe, just maybe, being calm isn't about having less emotion at all. Maybe it's about having enough safety inside to let emotions pass without fear. Because in the end, calm isn't the absence of feeling. It's the ability to stay with yourself while feeling everything.